This passage is from Act 3, Scene 2, and this is when Bassanio has already arrived at Portia's place, and it's in the moment before he chooses his casket. Portia cheers him on as she portrays her love for him. In the monologue below, Portia's desperation, excitement, and her degree of love are explicitly portrayed through numerous literary features. First of all, the passage mainly describes how desperate Portia is for Bassanio to claim the right casket. She is desperately hoping that he selects the right casket as she loves him, and unlike with the other candidates, she reveals her feelings and is subjective towards the situation. First of all, the first quote with "away then" portrays her zeal and her eagerness as she wants to get this over with as quick as she can and get married to Bassanio. The second quote of the imagery, "My eye shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him." This imagery illustrates the image that she will cry him a river if and only if she fails, and this further emphasizes how Portia is desperate that Bassanio selects the correct casket. As for other men and other candidates before her, she had not cheered them on, but for Bassanio, she is willing to cry him a river. The third quotation, the music going into "dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage." This quotation emphasizes her desperation as it portrays how Portia has been waiting for that moment, and she has been already daydreaming about this situation and her marriage, and is sure that Bassanio will be her bridegroom. The passage also shows a degree of love Portia has for Bassanio, and she is ready to have him as her husband and to give him everything she has. By comparing Bassanio to Hercules, it also shows the amount of respect she has for him. First of all, in the mention to the swan-like end, the swan song is an allusion to ancient Greece, and as swans were believed to sing a beautiful song after remaining silent throughout most of their lives, swans were believed to sing the song right before death or resignation. Thus, their song usually symbolizes the end of something, the final gesture before death and retirement. By referring to this swan-like end, it shows how devastating it would be if he chose the wrong casket, but also how nobly he will be going away, even if he fails, like the nobleness that a swan has. The second allusion to ancient Greece is of the tale of Hercules, as she refers to the young Alcides. Alcides is another name for Hercules, and the story that goes on to this quotation, "I stand for sacrifice, the rest aloof are the Danaanian wives." This story and quotations allude to where the tale of Hercules, where he rescues Troy from a sea monster and also saves the young girl who was supposed to be sacrificed. Portia compares herself to these women, showing how Bassanio shall save her helpless self trapped in her father's will. And she also further, while referring to Hercules, exalts Bassanio in this quotation of "with no less presence but with much more love," and by comparing how he is as noble and impressive he is with Hercules, and how he has even more love for Portia than Hercules did with the other girl. The metaphor of the new crowned monarch, even as a flourish when true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch. This shows how Portia regards him highly, as she says that he is ready to be a monarch, and she thinks of him as greatly as a great ruler. And this last quote, "Live though I live," it kind of translates into "I'll live if you live." And this quotation is quite self-explanatory, as it portrays Portia's devotion towards Bassanio, asserting that without him she will not choose to live. And it emphasizes her desperation, as this kind of finally urges Bassanio to choose the right casket. Lastly, this passage shows Portia's excitement as Bassanio is ready to choose the casket. This is illustrated as her overall tone and mood is bright, enthusiastic, and fervent. First of all, this passage is in verse and not in prose, and this makes it less serious, and it indicates how Shakespeare wanted this monologue of Portia to be less serious in mood, as Portia is more excited and vivacious than serious. Secondly, the repetition of music in these lines. As the word music has joyful connotations and it is used to celebrate an occasion, the repetition of the word music further supports the brightness, the bright attitude, tone, and mood. She repeatedly uses music to describe the different scenarios it could lead to, and sad if he doesn't make it, but happy if he does. And furthermore, the connotations of the words of dolce sounds, daydreaming, and these words emphasizes the tone, and it adds to the attitude, tone, and mood because the words have bright and cheerful connotations. In conclusion, in this scene, the specific monologue illustrates how Portia is desperate and excited, and her degree of love is explicitly portrayed. It is also directly illustrates how her tone is very bright and full of zeal as she is ready to have Bassanio as her husband. Thank you.